excited to have everybody here. Good job getting here through the snow. We got a bunch of hard-nosed media people out there. It's good to look into your eyes and see you back here after a year of hard work, going to work with this recruiting class. Before I talk about the players that we've recruited, I do want to just take my hat off to all of our coaches that did just a wonderful job recruiting this year, and our recruiting staff, Eric White, Cole Dial, two guys that are kind of unsung heroes, along with Lorene Perillo. And I think the organization and the targeting and the adjusting to all the situations that come up in recruiting, you know, they just did a great job. And I'm so fortunate to have those folks on our staff. And then getting into the class, as we went into the recruiting season, you know, really the week after signing date last year, our focus was to, one, try to find a group of young men that were of character, that fit the mold of what we're looking for at Syracuse. Two, to do a really good job having balance across the board. We had some skewed numbers when we first took the job a year ago, and we really needed to find balance. And we did that. I thought our coaches did a nice job really putting together a board that was deep, and a board that adhered to the things that we were really focused on. And once again, that's finding high-character kids that can play the game and have great respect for truly being a student athlete. And then getting into the class more specifically, looking at the skill positions, the secondary and the wide receivers especially. In the secondary, it's looking to bolster the numbers, both at corner and at safety, because those guys not only give you a chance to fill in the gaps with a couple corners that we lost that were pretty good football players for a few years, but also to help us in the kicking game. I thought it was an area that we needed to improve upon with guys that can run and make plays in space, and I'm excited about these kids that we took in the secondary. From a wide receiver point of view, the goal was to go out and find some long guys. I like tall, long wide receivers that can go up and make plays when they're covered. You know, good wide receivers make plays when they're covered. So when we watched the tape, we weren't just looking at 40 speed, and we weren't just looking at size. We were looking at the videotape and seeing who could make plays when people were matched face-to-face with them. At the linebacker position, we wanted to go out and get 4 to 5 linebackers, depending upon who was available. Felt really good about the 3 kids we've had committed for a long time. And then we needed to find one more space player that could run and blitz, a Dyshawn Davis type of kid. And I think we found that youngster. D-line, we lost Jason Bromley. But down the road, we were going to lose some other guys, so we wanted to try to take 2 to 3 defensive tackles. And we'd take a defensive end if we thought we had a special player. And we found that. And we feel really good about that position. Quarterback, in my opinion, you can never have enough quarterbacks, especially when they're athletes. I think we all learned a valuable lesson watching the Super Bowl and watching Russell Wilson play, and how valuable it is to have a quarterback that can create and extend plays. And I'm excited about our quarterback situation now. Offensive line, again, we lost Mackie McPherson. We had pretty much everybody back and ready to go, especially when Sean made the decision to come back. So again, we said the only way we're going to take a couple linemen is if we felt that they could play tackle, have some length, and also if they were kids that we thought could be exceptional players. And I think we got 2 of those. Then at running back, it's a tough year to try to recruit running backs because these kids knew that we had some kids stockpiled that could play. So we said we wanted a dynamic individual, and we'd only take one. And we wanted them to be a kid that could play both at the tailback position and even get out and play in the slot and give us a chance to catch the ball in the backfield. And I think we found that guy. The last thing we're looking for is to try to find kids with leadership qualities. And we found 18 of our kids to be captains in high school. And of those 18, we had 4 or 5 that were multi-year captains. So I feel really strong about this class. And I'm really excited and proud of the way our coaches and our support staff went about finishing this class off, especially these last 2 weeks, holding on to kids that were getting bombarded by a lot of people. And with that, those were my opening remarks. And any questions you have?
Mike? Coach, you talk about Lamar Dawson and the battle he's had, and just how much you're looking forward to getting him on campus whenever he does show up.
Yeah, Lamar's a young man from St. Rita High School. I've had a lot of success with that high school over the years. Catholic League, south side of Chicago, tough kids. You know, one thing about St. Rita kids, especially in the secondary, they can play the game the way you want them to, but they've always been good tacklers there. And Coach Kuska, known for years, he's always in the state playoffs and always vying for a championship. And Lamar is exactly what we're looking for. He's been ill. He's had kind of a strange viral situation. So we're going to hang on and see how he's doing. If we need to, we'll wait and bring him in January if we have to. But he's a great kid. He's a good student. He's got great parents. He comes from a family of faith, and we're excited to have him on board.
Dan.
Scott, the state of Florida obviously very important in this conference with the ACC and everything. Can you talk about the talent that you took out of Florida?
Yeah, I can. Excited about the Florida kids. You know, they play a good brand of football. Really like the skill from down in that area, have for many years. I feel indebted to the kids from South Florida. They've helped my career. They've made me look like a much better coach than I really am, especially secondary-wise and wide receiver over the years. I think we got a top fleet of kids, not only from Florida, but at the skill positions. And, you know, when I look at a guy like Steve Ishmael, he's a kid. He'll be like the 12th or 13th kid I've coached from North Miami Beach High School. And all of Jeff Bertaney's kids have gone on to play football at all the schools I've been at. And, you know, Richie Desir we have in-house right now. So it's exciting to get another one of Jeff's players. But excited about those kids. They're all playmakers, the kids on both sides of the ball that we've recruited from down there. And you look at the number of catches and touchdowns and interceptions from those kids. I mean, even Allen, you know, Allen's a quarterback, and I was reading his bio, and he made a bunch of interceptions. I didn't even realize that, to be quite honest with you. So it's good to have some kids come in and bolster our speed and our skill positions from way down at the bottom.
Stephen?
I saw George tell Sports Illustrated that he wanted to open up the offense a little bit more next year. Can you talk about, you know, how some of these players fit into that kind of scheme?
Well, yeah. Once again, let's go through the wide receivers. Jamal Custis, 6'6", multi-sport athlete. What you'll see if you go around and you look at their videotapes, Jamal, Steve Ishmael, KJ Williams, Adlian Oise, they're all big wide receivers, and they make a ton of plays when they're covered, as I mentioned earlier. And I think part of opening up the offense has to do with guys that have the ability to make plays, and make plays when they're covered. It's like Floyd when he was running the ball tailback. Everybody in the stadium knew he was going to run the ball, but it didn't matter. He found a way to make plays, and that's what I think we found here. Great to have Corey Cooper on campus as well. He and AJ are rooming together. They're getting their feet wet. They'll be with us this spring. And again, there's two other examples of kids that give you the ability to open up the offense, both with their feet and their ability to get down the field and make plays, and with the quarterback position, if things aren't there, to extend it. So excited about the movement forward with the playmakers.
Nico.
Coach, talking about Nashon Howard, the local West Tennessee guy, he's been committed to you for a while. We've seen him for a while. Just want to hear your take on him.
Yeah, first noticed Nas when he was finishing up 10th grade, and as a sophomore, went in, talked to Coach Marone at the time, and showed him the tape, and he goes, "We got to get this kid. We can't let this kid get out of our own backyard." So we got the offer out to Joe Corley, and he let Nas know that. And we've been watching him ever since. He almost killed my own son in a game a few years ago, knocking the heck out of him. And just a great kid, great personality, strong student, young man that's worked his way to where he's become a respectable football player in the area. And I know he's excited to join the Orange.
Chris?
You talked about trying to put the numbers where you want them in each position. Bringing in all these wide receivers, you have a real glut there, or a ton of guys.
Yeah.
Was that just because you know you're going to have to rotate through because of the up-tempo system? Or why?
Not necessarily. I thought our productivity needed to be increased. And, you know, that's one position where we actually have, you know, numbers above and beyond what you'd like to have. And, you know, when you look at it as a coach, you say, what's our productivity and what are we going to do to make it better? And I felt when we went through it that we had some high-quality kids that were interested in playing in this offense and saw who we were and who we weren't, and weren't afraid to come in and compete. And I think that's the group we got right there that can come in and do that.